What's up, guys? Welcome to IQ Reviews. We got a movie review for you today. Actually, a special one because we're doing a 2-for-1 special because we are reviewing the Creed movies. So, the third Creed just came out. I have not seen it yet, but I really want to go see it. It just came out on March 3rd. It's in theaters currently. You cannot stream it. I'm going to go watch it to give that a review. But before we do that, we obviously have to review the first and second Creed movies in order to, kind of get us there, right? So, with that being said, 2-for-1 special reviewing both of these movies. They're both starring the same people. Okay, you've got Michael B. Jordan playing Creed, the main character. His girlfriend, Tessa Thompson, plays her. And then you've got Sylvester Stallone as Rocky, right? Now, these movies are really cool. If you like the Rocky movies, the way that they, hey, just take a few years off and let's freaking come up with a whole new thing. Like, it ends up being really cool, the storyline that they're doing, okay? And both of these movies, I think it's awesome. So let's start with the first one, okay? Creed, the original. I remember when this thing first came out, it was a pretty big deal that the movie was coming out because obviously Rocky Balboa, that was such a big cinematic thing back in the day. Like, I mean, it was one of the, probably a lot of people would say is some of the best movies that ever came out were Rocky movies during that time. So coming out with something that kind of parlays off of that was huge, right? And this movie didn't really disappoint. Look, I thought it was, this first movie, it's good, okay? It's good, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't have given it like a great category. I thought it was cool. It was awesome seeing Sylvester Stallone back as Rocky. I think Michael B. Jordan killed it. The first movie, though, there wasn't a lot of action, but it kind of made sense because they really had to build up the storyline. Like, how did we get here? And basically that storyline is Michael B. Jordan is Apollo Creed's son, and he ends up going to Rocky Balboa to train him to become a great fighter. And he wants to do it under his own name. He doesn't want to be known as the son of Apollo Creed. He wants to be himself. He didn't even really know his dad because obviously he died in the fight with Drago, in the Rocky movies. So, look, it's really cool. The storyline is actually really freaking good, but it's not very action-packed, this first one, if you ask me. Like, the ending fight where he's fighting, I think it's Ricky Conlan is the big guy. So this guy's going to jail, but he's the best fighter in the world, undefeated, but he wants one more fight before he goes to jail for whatever he's being, imprisoned for. Basically, his career is over, but he's going to go out with a bang, and he picks to fight Michael B. Jordan in this case, who people don't know as Creed yet. But the whole deal with the fight is that he has to be, the world has to know that he is Apollo Creed's son. And so, like I said, this movie has a lot of it's a lot of the backstory to really get to where we're going. And I think it's really good. The plot is actually really good in it. There's just not as much action as I was really thinking would be in it at first. So with this movie, it ends up being really good. Believe it or not, we're going to have the second one I'm about to review and this never fucking happens. You look back at all of our reviews, it's never happened. I personally think the second Creed is better than the first Creed. You're going to have a better review on the second Creed movie than you are on this one. This one's still good, though. I'm giving it a 7.9. That's the official score that I'm giving it for IQ Reviews. So Creed 1, very good. Creed 2, let's get into this one. Now, this one I think is fucking awesome. Tons of action in it. Keeps the storylines going. In fact, the plot might get even better because now what happens, Michael B. Jordan, Creed, is this badass fighter. He has won all of his fights. He's looking like, the best fighter in the world. He fights for the heavyweight championship and he wins. And he is now the heavyweight champion. But then he gets called out publicly. They come to Philadelphia. Guess who? It's the original Drago from the original Rocky movies and his son. And his son is like a big motherfucker. You see this dude, there ain't a chance in hell anybody wants to fight this dude. Just from looking at him, he is that badass. Brings his son, and they're basically shunned out of Russia or Ukraine, wherever the hell they're from, because of the way things went down when Drago ended up killing Apollo Creed. This story is freaking awesome in this one because they come to Philly, they call out Michael B. Jordan, they want to challenge him for the belt. He ends up whooping Michael B. Jordan's ass. I mean, he absolutely destroys him, but he got a disqualification because after the bell had rang, he ended up fucking him up even more. Like, Michael B. Jordan was practically already dead on his hands and knees. They ring the bell, he's on his hands and knees, and Drago just fucking smacks the shit out of him and knocks him out. Michael B. Jordan is fucked up. Creed is hurt. He's got like, he had like a lacerated kidney, broken ribs. I mean, his whole face was just, he got absolutely whooped. And then he did that fight without Rocky in his corner, because Rocky did not want to, he thought he would lose the fight, and he didn't want to be in the corner again. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, you kind of feel for Sylvester Stallone as the Rocky character, because like, he was in the corner of Apollo Creed when he ended up getting beat and killed against this guy's dad, right? So like, the ties to it and like what that all meant to Rocky when all of that happened, like, obviously it's a really big deal. This is a pretty long movie, the second one, but dude, it is so fucking good. The storyline, if you've watched the old Rocky movies, and the way they tie all this stuff in to fight Drago's son, and he comes back and fights him again at the very end, like the rematch, and it's in Russia this time. And technically, Creed didn't lose the first fight because it was a disqualification for Drago. But, dude, this movie, the second one, I think is really fucking good. Like, this is a really good movie, and it's got me really excited to go see this third one, because I've seen commercials for Creed 3, and somehow through the commercials, it looks even better than the first two. I'm so freaking excited to go watch this one. But Creed 2, I'm going to give this one an 8.3. That's going to be the final score I give Creed 2. So, like I said, an absolute rarity. You never see a second movie outgrade the first movie, but here we are. Creed 2 with an 8.2. The original Creed, 7.9. That's a review.